my favorite book is called Civilization and Its Discontents. And so when we think about should we have kids and should we not have kids and what's the purpose and should we change the world or make money, at the end of the day, what's better than all of that is just flow. And it needs to be something primitive that you're doing. Some people feel it by going camping. Some people feel it by hunting. Some people feel it with art or music, I play the piano. Sometimes you get into flow. The more important than all the things we talked about, both you and I like to make money. It's the thing we do. We justify it in various ways, and maybe it's true or maybe it's not, but never get too disconnected from pre-civilization. Civilization has made us unhappy. You know what's funny? When I was listening to you earlier, you said something. I'll try to remember. You said there was two poles. There was like the poet. No, there was like the you wanted to be like conqueror. Poet. Yeah, you wanted to win. But yet, you know, society is like, you get married. You ask me about marriage. Marriage is an invention of mankind. Most of your ancestors didn't get married. What do you mean got married? You think they went to a church house 10,000 years ago and went to a judge? There was no governments. People bonded, and people had Homo sapiens are what we call serial monogamists. So there was monogamy 10,000, 200,000 years ago, but we were uncivilized. And what Freud said in literally the most immaculate set of pages I've ever read, and I've read many things, is Civilization is Discontents, the second chapter. And he says it's a trade-off. By becoming civilized, we decrease the chance that your next door neighbor would get envious of your place and you wake up and he hits you overhead of club and takes this house. So you've increased your safety, but you've done it at the expense of your primitive side. And when you have no primitive in your life, you know what it looks like? It looks like America. 60% obesity, 80% out of shape. We eat too much. We walk too little. We overstimulate our brain too much. You know, we don't fast. We have 24/7 everything we need. We overuse the dopamine parts of our brain. TikTok's the ultimate drug dealer in mankind's history. They're literally drug dealers, and you can see it on machines. Human attention span has dropped to 5 seconds. That's now less than a goldfish. So animals have been less dopamine hijacked than us. All of that civilization. Money is part of civilization. There was no money before. You know why there was no wars long ago? There was battles, but there was no wars because there was no civilization with large governments. There was no billionaires before. You know why? Because you didn't have any tools. One man could out-hunt another man by double, but now 10 men on the Forbes list. Look it up. They have more wealth than the bottom 4 billion people in the world. Is that good or bad? I don't think in good or bad, but there's a trade-off. We're a highly civilized world. And one of the things you trade off with civilization is high concentration of wealth, which is great if you know how to make money like you and I do. We get to be in the elite. But the downside of that is there's revolts. There's revolts against the wealthy. And it happens now. Sometimes, I don't know if you ever do you ever see someone comment, eat the rich?
Mm-hmm.
Comment on your stuff. Comment on my stuff. We have to think about that. I live in Scandinavia a lot. It has a better what's called Gini index or Gini index. Some people pronounce it.
Gini coefficient. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically like Philippines is like one of the worst. It's the disparity between the ultra wealthy and the ultra poor. I live in Norway is basically like the best, or Copenhagen, Denmark. You have more, and there's a lot of good things to be said about it. And there are billionaires, but so I don't know. I'm you could say I am a bipolar wealthy person in the sense that sometimes I like the civilization, which includes money, but I also like going to the cabin and having horses.